Constitution also recognized that citizens and organizations would run to this temple of justice when their rights under our progressive Bill of Rights, a major anchor for a promise of democracy, were denied, violated, infringed, or threatened. Similarly, the temple of justice would be the place to seek remedies when the Constitution was contravened or threatened with contravention. The Constitution also addressed the fundamental question of political leadership, the leadership that has the responsibility and the power of our resources. The issue of leadership and integrity finds its place in Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Kenyans were aware that unless we had a patriotic pro-people leadership that would guard our resources and be committed to breathing life into the values and principles of governance in the Constitution, no social transformation would take place. So the Constitution provided various sides of obstacles where the barriers to transformation be challenged and overcome, granting independence and integrity to all institutions of state was made to cure the virus of imperial presidency and its negative impact on all institutions of governance. Devolution of political power to 47 counties and the freeing and equitable distribution of resources between the national government and the county government aimed at building one indivisible sovereign nation. That was equitable and reflected the face of Kenya in all its ethnic, cultural, and religious diversity. Marginalization in whatever form, gender, community, religion, race, sexual orientation was quenched as we build a united sovereign nation. Let me pause here and basically say the assessment on the implementation of the Constitution is through a metaphor in Kenya where we say the Constitution was born a beautiful baby, but we handed the baby to child traffickers. And so the struggle for its implementation still continues. So, a transformative constitution, there's been a lot of writing on transformative constitutions, particularly by the South Africans. A South African scholar, former Chief Justice of South Africa, has defined and written on transformative constitution, the constitution of South Africa. Transformative constitutions and their jurisprudence collectively capture the idea of fundamental societal change through the instrumentality of law. Okay? Judge Cameron and Sachs have also, described what transformative constitution could be, and Sachs says the Constitution opens with the word "we the people," and yes, it can just be a piece of paper. If we the people ignore it, if we trample on it, if we disregard it, it will just be a beautiful piece of paper.
I am so happy and honored to stand before all of you to present to you a comprehensive review of the collective research work that we did together. Indeed, I'd like to appreciate the various comments received from the members of the Adjunct Advisory Board that shaped the final edition of this research work. Kindly join me in applauding their efforts. The comprehensive research that was conducted on judicial independence in Africa spanned 11 countries: Mali, Nigeria, Angola, DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Senegal, South Africa, and our very own country, Ghana. Listening to the earlier speakers, they touched on some of the relevant things that has to do with judicial independence. Indeed, for every democratic state, it is expected that you will see the semblance of rule of law, respect for human rights, through the work of the judiciary. We cannot overemphasize the role played by our various judiciaries across the continent of Africa. They are the beacon of hope to many when it comes to violation of rights, constitutional interpretation, and even the settlement of electoral disputes. They play a very important role. And this very topic is of utmost relevance and importance for our work, the Africa Judicial Independence Fund, to ensure that this very important organ of government, the judiciary, at all times, is actually independent in the true sense of it. There are so many beautiful legislations out there at the international level, at the regional level in Africa, and also at the national level in our various constitutions, where you come across very important provisions that speaks to the issues of judicial independence, which has got everything to do with the institutional independence of the institution, as well as their decisional institutions, where we could see the determination of disputes based strictly to the law and the facts in issue without any form of external influences. Now, kindly permit me to take you through many of the challenges that we came across in this research. As part of our objectives, our aim was to assess, if I understand and assess the independence of our various judiciaries across the African continent. Identify key actors, policymakers that promote judicial independence across the continent, identify some of the challenges, and come out with actionable recommendations that would help policy change and make the independence of the judiciary more practicable. Because when you look at the things we see on a daily basis, in reality, we observe and agree that indeed there's a disconnect between the theoretical understanding of what we talk about when we talk about judicial independence and then the practice of state parties. Of relevant importance are some of the international laws, human rights instruments, which explicitly deals with judicial independence.
You spoke about socioeconomic factors being a major, factor in that affects judicial independence. How do these factors specifically impact the judiciary's effectiveness and integrity? More importantly, what measures can be implemented to mitigate their impact?
Thank you for the question. on socio-economic factors, it's quite complicated. Most of the time, it has everything to do with having in place a very suitable working environment for members of the bench as well as the court staff. Oftentimes, when you visit the various courts, and in particular the lower bench, it is pathetic. For instance, in Ghana, there's been great improvement. With most of the lower courts in the city, Accra, it is the environment, the work environment has been improved greatly. But that cannot be said of other places where you have, in particular, the lower bench. It is pathetic. In terms of infrastructure, the working environment itself, basic stuff like furniture and all that becomes an issue. Then again, low salary levels expose members of the bench to fall victims to all manner of corrupt practices and unethical conduct, which all works against judicial independence. And so,
how do we overcome this?
Yes. So, first of all, there's a need to promote the strict adherence to judicial ethics and standards on all members of the bench, irrespective of the work environment you find yourself. It's very important. Then there is also a need for independent monitoring institutions that will have that responsibility of monitoring the performance of the courts, of the members of the bench, in the light of some of these principles that we're looking at. Where they fall short, corrective measures need to be taken immediately before it adds to the low levels of confidence we have in their work.
And it's something that wasn't done by lawyers, because we realized that the lawyers, we always say we are learned, but we're very ignorant rather than this. So we did bring in economists, scientists, and we do that framework and the focus, on those particular issues we thought were urgent, like backlog cases, the issue of technology, which became a very important in the judiciary, and how, as I said, how the institution has to deal with these pressures, encouraging as many associations as possible. But the legal framework was, its legal framework is also very, very, very important, in the sense that in the case of Kenya, there is a call now for forensic audit of actually those declarations that are filed.
So, the concepts behind the logo. Our logo is entitled Guardians of Justice and is a visual representative of our values and our mission as the Africa Judicial Independence Fund. The logo design as well captures the mission, the values, as well as the mission of the fund. It features the scales of justice, the two pillars of support. We have the shield, which is protective of the design, as well as an African continent motif. Now, we will delve into the symbolic representatives of the elements in the logo. First of all, we will talk about the scales of justice. Universally, as known, the scale of justice represents fairness, balance, and impartiality. All right, so our logo has a number of colors. We have deep blue, we have rich green, and we have warm gold. I must say that each of the colors symbolizes something significant. So the multiple colors that we have here is used to represent the diversity of Africa. When you check the logo, the colors are blended in a way that signifies unity and cooperation, as well as collaboration, which is needed to preserve judicial independence on the continent. The deep blue color symbolizes trust, stability, and strength. We have rich green representing growth, renewal, and the pursuit of justice. We have warm gold as well, seen somewhere on the logo. It signifies hope, prosperity, and positive change. So in conclusion, we are saying that the Guardians of Justice logo embodies AJI's vision to safeguard the rule of law and judicial independence on the continent. It is designed to be instantly recognizable and also to make stakeholders understand and want to be part of, and also for those who share in our passion for preserving judicial independence. The scales of justice, the two steady pillars of support, and the shield collectively symbolizes AJI's role as a steadfast contributor to the independent delivery of justice across the continent. The African continent motif emphasizes our regional focus, and the colors that we see in the logo underscores the fund's values and aspirations. Thank you for your attention.
So I hope that you are suitably impressed by the results of our deliberations, and that when you see this logo, you will know that the independence of the judiciary is, well, we said preserved, but sometimes it might also be being established. But in any event, the end result will be a more independent judiciary that really lives up to what we expect of it. So, as I said, surprise, surprise, because you've seen it before, that here is our logo.
Now, as now, as